Hey everybody, welcome to Stalking the Wild Auto Harp. I'm Hal Weeks coming to you from Daigle Auto Harps in Seattle, Washington, and I'm going to give you a little lesson today about caring for your fine tuners. Not all of you have fine tuners, and really you don't absolutely need fine tuners, although once you've had them you'll be spoiled and you'll always want them. Fine tuners are not necessary for a good sound. They're not necessary for tuning an auto harp fast. If you get the touch with your tuning wrench, that's all you need. However, if you've got them, use them. And there's something that not everybody knows about fine tuner. And it's a simple process, and I'm going to show you a little bit about that right now. So this is an example of an Oscar Schmidt auto harp B model with a fine tuning system installed. All fine tuners work with a finely threaded screw and an Allen wrench of some kind. And the way they work is that the tuning pegs, of course, when you tighten them righty-tighty, they pull the string that way. And that gives you more and more tension on your strings. Fine tuners, when you turn the screw righty-tighty, it pulls the string that way, also giving you more tension on, or less tension if you let out the tension, but in a much finer increment with the Allen wrench. But here's the deal. Fine tuners, if you use them all the time to tune with, and really you can and should if you have them, because all it takes is a tiny little micro adjustment and you can tune the whole harp in about a minute, maybe 2 minutes. And fine tuners should not be used to move a string that is reading as an A, to move it up to reading as a B flat or an A sharp. That's too far. Fine tuners are for micro adjustments when they're just a quarter tone off or less to get it that last little distance. Here's the deal. When you are using your fine tuners, if you find that you're always turning them a little bit to the right, and then the next time a little bit to the right, and the next time a little bit to the right, and the next time a little bit to the right, and the next time a little bit to the right. In other words, you're always tuning your string sharper and sharper and sharper each time. Eventually, the screw is going to hit bottom. Fine tuners have to be reset. And this is what we see oftentimes when harps come in to be worked on, is that the fine tuners are completely flat against the bottom. So we have to reset them. This is something that you need to do if you're using your fine tuners. And it's easy. You just back the screw out a few turns, like maybe 3 turns, maybe 4 turns, depends on the screw, but you have to loosen it. And when you loosen it that far, of course, the note is going to go way, way flat. And so you make up the difference up here. So you go and you loosen all your fine tuner screws, back them out, and then retune your harp using the old school way of using your wrench up here. Get your harp nice and in tune, and then begin the next time you tune to use your fine tuners again. And tune that way for a few months, and then reset them. Back them out. Make up the difference up here, and begin to use them down here again. That way your fine tuners will always work, and fine tuners will preserve the life of your auto harp, because you're not always tweaking on these. You only use these to adjust the fine tuner or to change strings. You do all your tuning down here otherwise. That's the way fine tuners are designed to work. No matter what kind of fine tuners you have, they must be reset every so often, especially if you're always tuning higher with them. If you tune higher and then sometimes you tune lower, then they're kind of adjusting themselves. One thing that's good to do is to run your finger along your fine tuners. And if you notice any like real drastic curves, or like some are way out and some are way in, then reset those. Set them all at a good middle level. And then tune up here to get your auto harp in tune again. And then start to use your fine tuners again, so that they're all relatively level with each other, like these are. These are all in a nice line, except the one that I was tweaking on earlier, and that one's risen up a little bit because I was loosening it. Okay, so there's a little lesson about fine tuners. A little lesson on fine tuners. Again, you don't need them, but if you've got them, you might as well use them, and they're a great little extra to have. All that's required is that you reset them from time to time so that you get the best use out of them. So I'm Hal Weeks for Stalking the Wild Auto Harp. That's all for now. Remember, you can take lessons with me through Skype. I'm available during the days to teach lessons to wherever you are and wherever you are in your playing. Right here from the front of the shop at Daigle Auto Harps. And I also have a Patreon if you want to help keep this series going. I really appreciate all of the help that my patrons give me on a month-to-month basis. You can do that by going to my Patreon and kicking in a few bucks every month. I really appreciate the help that my patrons give me. So I'm Hal Weeks. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.